Hey kids, it's Dad. Today we are looking at Tiny Lands for the Nintendo Switch. But before we do that, go on ahead, like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. In the spirit of this game, go get one of those little rice engraved art pieces that has the Gaming with Dad Show hashtag on it. Why not? It's just confused the hell out of the guy. Normally they laser engrave your name on a grain of rice, but do do the Gaming with Dad show. Why not? So yes, Tiny Lands, presently on sale as part of a pack of games for $1.99. It is regularly $5.99. Just a second here. Let me get you that pack name. Ooh, ASMR typing. It is the Tiny Lands and not a brainbuster, but we are looking at Tiny Lands here. This is one of those games that is very simply just spot the difference. I'm not going to get into details as to what they say about it, but originally this was released June 4th, 2021, single system puzzle education adventure study from naptime.games. That's the publisher. The developer is listed as Cubic Games. Rated E for everyone. All 3 play modes. 1 gig. Bunch of languages. Not that you really need it to do a spot the difference type game. But yeah, this is one of those kind of sleepy, let's call it relaxing bedtime games, where all you do is you move your way around this pretty well realized, although very Apple Arcade looking little world, and you spot the differences. The graphics are bright, they're colorful, each of the little scenes has its own story. Sorry, repeating on the coffee here this morning. And there's just enough movement where it's enjoyable to look at. And when I mean movement, I mean it feels like stuff is moving the same way when you look at a painting. Yeah, the painting's not actually moving because none of us live in Harry Potter's world, but it there a good painting feels like there's movement in it. You can see that, and that's what we have here. But even though all of that is praise, I'm only going to give it a 16 graphically because it is very much Apple Arcade, and I don't know if it's just all the irrelevant gaming I've been doing, but I'm losing my patience with that art style. The sound, you get very pleasant environmental noise, and it fits this game and the relaxing notion of it, where you're just out in nature looking for the differences between the left and the right. So sound gets a 16 as well. We're at a score of 32 as we move into controls. Controls, yes, it's a mouse cursor. You have to do that in this type of game. I had high hopes that this was going to be touch controlled for when you're in handheld mode, because that would make sense, but it isn't. While you can use touch controls while selecting your level, and it's awkward there, I couldn't figure out how to get that to work inside the game. So that's a downer. The controls simply just work. Uh, I'm giving them a 15. We're sitting at 47. Gameplay. So this is simple. It is relaxing. It actually reminds me a lot of the old magazine games where they would have this spot the difference. You'd open up the magazine, and on the left side of the fold, you'd have an image, and on the right side, a virtually identical, and you had to try to figure out what the differences are. They do the same thing on some menus at chain restaurants for the kids to play with. This is not a kid level of Spot the Difference, though. Although I think it is a great game for kids because it is very simple in its gameplay mechanics, but some of those differences are extraordinarily difficult to spot. And I can see it getting frustrated for the younger minds because it was getting frustrated for this older mind at times too. So, that said, gameplay is going to get a 16. We're sitting at a total of 63 right now as we look at value. So, on its own, at $5.99, there's an awful lot of content here, and it is at times challenging content. Some of the differences are easy to spot. Others might take you a while, but as part of a bundle with two games at $1.99, I can't help but think this is actually a good game for that price tag. It will keep you busy. It is one of those quiet, unwinding, low pressure games. You can sit there and play it on the couch as you're watching your daytime television or just wanting something to do that isn't super stressful. Yes, there's no property destruction, there's no killing, there's none of that, but sometimes with games, you just want something calming. And that's what this game does. I definitely think that looking at the content wheel and everything, there's more than 2 hours worth of content in this game. And so I'm giving value a 17. Tiny Lands, as part of that bundle, gets a score of 80. That is a very solid B. And I've just got to take a moment to explain some stuff here. One, the Gaming with Dad show, it's an opinion show. It's my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they're usually full of shit. So, that said, if you disagree with my assessment, that's fine. But on my scoring system, it is very difficult for a air quote game to score in the 40s or 50s, and especially not even in the 20s. So really, that's where the grades come in. An A is a 90 or over, a B is an 80 or over, like this game. A C is a 70, a D is a 60. You failed the class at 59 and lower, and as you get further down that, your game ceases to be a functioning entity. So if somebody gets a C somewhere in that 70s range, it just means they delivered a functional program that may or may not be fun, but the programming works. There are elements that are entertaining. With all of that said, you guys have yourself a stellar, stellar day. We'll talk to you kids later. Bye now. Hey, if you've made it this far through the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, leave a comment. I've also posted 2 other videos down here as well as a subscribe link. So click, enjoy. That's kind of how the algorithm works.